The sun versus the rising horoscope. Which is better, and how are these even different in the first place? Watch this video where I'm going to break down the key differences between these two types of horoscopes and which one you should follow for astrological guidance. Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm Isabelle, and today we're talking about the differences between the sun and rising horoscope and which one you should follow, because recently I have been filming a lot of 2025 horoscopes and horoscopes for upcoming new moons or full moons, and I've been seeing the question a lot of, is this for your sun or rising, or should I be looking at this for my sun or rising? Which is better, basically? Should I look for my sun horoscope or should I look for my rising? And many astrologers will have many different opinions on this. So in this video specifically, I'm going to cover the difference between your sun sign and rising sign and how to understand these different horoscopes by understanding the difference between the sun and rising sign in the first place, what a sun horoscope entails, what a rising horoscope entails, which one I personally think you should follow, tips for following your horoscope, and hopefully as a bonus at the end, I'm going to cover the moon horoscope, because many people you'll notice, astrologers will say, check for your sun, moon, and rising as a quick note whenever they go into horoscopes. So hopefully at the end of this video, I'm going to cover moon sign horoscope and how this fits into the sun, moon, and rising horoscope differences at the end. So watch through to the end to find out about that. First and foremost, what is the sun sign? This is the sign that you probably already know without even ever getting into astrology, because it's based off of where the sun was at your moment of birth, and the sun changes signs roughly every 30 or so days. So the sun sign, simply put, is your core self or ego self. The way I like to define the sun sign is it's your general overview of who you are. These are general traits you'll resonate with, general characteristics that everyone can kind of see in you, some more accurately than others. And this kind of has to do with the decan. So if you haven't checked out my decan playlist, check that out if you feel like your sun sign doesn't resonate. But overall, the sun sign is just your core self. The sun is supposed to represent in our chart our vitality and our ego. It's what gives us strength. And so hence why it's kind of just our general values or our general characteristics, because it's something we feel we can lean into to feel stronger, whether that's in an ego defense or just in a general sense of self, because we all need an ego to some degree in order to operate. And that is what is implied with the sun sign. Now, what is the rising sign, and how is this different from the sun sign? Your rising sign is going to be based off of your time of birth, because it's whatever zodiac sign or constellation was on the horizon when you were born. And what this represents is your key characteristics in your appearance, your identity. Whatever your rising sign is how people will describe you. Basically, your rising is the sign people would likely guess you are when they first meet you. So it's your appearance, it's your immediate appearance, and also to some degree, as you learn deeper about the rising sign, you'll hear that it is how you perceive the world. So for example, I'm an Aries sun. People who get to know me, even if it's superficial, will say, yeah, that makes sense. But I appear at outward appearance or at first glance like a Sagittarius. I appear optimistic, enthusiastic, open-minded. So there's two key takeaways that I want you to note before we get into the difference between these two horoscopes. The sun is the core self, general self, and it takes longer for your sun sign to change. You would have had to have been born a month different in order to have a different sun sign. And then two, the rising sign is your key appearance, your natural appearance, your immediate appearance, and it's dependent on your time of birth. So it's specifically tailored to you, your unique time of birth, much more minute, much more specific. So how does this change based off of a horoscope? There's a reason we look at the sun and rising horoscope, and why usually astrologers will recommend looking at both these. Your sun horoscope, in my personal interpretation, because the sun takes longer for it to change signs, is going to be how an event affects you in the long run, regardless of whether that is a sun transit, saying we're in Virgo season, or if it's maybe a full moon or a new moon, like the new moon in Aquarius that we're about to have. The sun sign horoscope is general themes that come up for everyone who is born within the same month period as you. Your rising horoscope, as many astrologers will say, is more specifically tailored to you. So anyone who has the same rising sign as you, which could be born in a completely different month, will experience the same kind of themes as you're going to. But also because the rising sign changes on such a smaller time frame, the way I personally see the rising horoscope is that this is how it affects you in the short term, since this has to do with short periods of time. And I would run this personally as an experiment. You'll probably notice that if you were to look back to maybe a full moon we had last year, you'll say probably your sun sign horoscope is more accurate in the sense that, oh, that's what was going on in the macro scale of my life. Whereas in that moment, you're going to feel like during that week, your rising sign horoscope was more accurate. So your sun horoscope is going to feel a little more generalized. However, I do notice across the board that your sun sign horoscope is how an event affected you in the long run. In the end, your sun sign is your astrological imprint of your core self. So your sun horoscope is going to be how an astrological event affects your core self. Whereas your rising horoscope is going to be much more tailored to you. It's going to feel much more specific to you, especially in the immediate moment. If we had a new moon in Aquarius right now, you're going to feel like this is definitely the themes coming up. This is exactly what my brain's focused on in the micro scale. This is what I'm dealing with this week. And it's going to feel more personalized to your personal experience in that moment. Now, here's the big question. Which is better? Because like I said, you're going to hear a lot of different astrologers are recommending a lot of different personal takes on this. Some are going to say, just look at your sun. Some are going to say, just look at your rising. Some are going to say, look at your moon sign horoscope. Personally, I recommend looking at both your sun and rising. Both is good. And if you know what I just referenced there, please let me know in the comments below, because both is good. And in the sense that, yes, your rising horoscope is technically going to be more personalized to you. However, what I've noticed for people across the board, including myself, is that because it's more personalized and it's based off of a shorter time frame, it doesn't really tell us how this is going to affect us in the long run or what the core lesson learned here is. And in the end, I think astrological transits are an invitation for growth, manifestation, and to learn lessons. And so your sun horoscope is going to be much more accurate to what the core lesson is that the universe is, so to say, trying to teach your sun sign. So looking at both will give you a picture of what is the core lesson I'm trying to learn here and how's it going to appear to be affecting me, or what are at the very least the two areas of life that are the most activated right now, and how does this give me the complete picture on what is going on in my personal life. And as a final quick note for your moon sign, this is how you're emotionally going to feel in the experience. Your moon sign horoscope is how you feel. Your moon is how you feel. And so your moon sign horoscope, if you feel like your sun or rising is not so accurate, your moon horoscope could be accurate in the sense of it's how or where you feel affected. So for example, for my moon horoscope, if it was happening in a different house than my sun and rising, then I would say, oh, well, this feels like the major issue in my life, or this is what I feel called to focus on. Overall, I personally don't use ever my moon horoscope because there's so much to be gathered from your sun and rising. However, if you had a transit in your same sign as your moon, I would say it's valuable. That's just my personal take on it. So let me know in the comments below, did this clear up things for you? What horoscope are you specifically going to look at now that you have this information? Did this clarify the difference? What other questions do you have? And why do you personally think you're going to go with a certain horoscope? Are you going to use the sun? Are you going to use the rising? Are you going to use both? Are you going to use the moon too? Are you going to just use the moon? Tell us your personal take down below, because every person's different. Astrology expresses itself differently through everyone. And so maybe different horoscopes are going to resonate more for others than for different people. You get what I mean. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you still have more questions about this and you want to dive deeper into your chart, book a reading down below where in 1 hour we can dive deep into your astrological imprint and get any astrology questions answered. The sky is the limit. If you want to get a personalized sun and rising horoscope for the year ahead, the month ahead, the week ahead, book a reading down below as well. And if you want to learn how to become your own astrologer, or you're more of the learn it yourself type, binge watch my channel, subscribe to the YouTube channel, check out my astrology workbook bundle down below, check out my astrology course, check out all the links, hit all those buttons down below, and share this video if you liked it and you think someone else would like to hear it too. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Sincerely hope you enjoyed. Be sure to subscribe and let me know what you want to hear about next on the channel. Once again, my name's Isabelle, and from my heart to yours, namaste.